What is up everyone, my name's Al from Games Room, and today we're going to be discussing a brand new Bleem, one that I've been pretty damn excited to try because, as you'll already know, Diablo 2 did get released back in 2021. Yeah, that's right, it's now last year, 2021, yet it did get released for the next generation consoles. Now, that's obviously led me to come on and say, well, let's play Diablo 1, should we on the PlayStation 1? Does it Bleem? Well, you know, this is such a damn classic game, it would be really a shame if it doesn't. Let me let you in on something though. It does. Let's take a look. Now this is another fantastic Shindogu Bleem. Now I did reach out to Shindogu about this version and he said, I can't actually remember, I'm pretty sure he said it didn't work that well, it was unplayable. Although, as you're about to see, I'd very much say this is playable. I mean, look at this straight off the bat. The menu is clear. The animations are working. It very much looks like a Bleem that is where it should be. Now, the one main thing it does really seem to be missing is music. Sound effects do actually pop in and out, but they're not there all the time, which is a shame, because at the end of the day, we kind of want sound effects, or we want sound. We kind of want one or the other. And that's the thing with Bleems, is normally they have one or the other, or totally silent. This one doesn't have music, but does have some sound effects. And the other thing is sometimes you can pause the game, go back into it, the sound effects are there again. So it is a little bit strange. Loading times, actually not too bad as you just saw. I actually think, to be fair, that was actually pretty quick. But here you go. This is Diablo Bleeming on the Sega Dreamcast. That's right, this is no magic or sorcery here. This is using the beta Bleem disc and a copy of Diablo. Now the weird thing is the kind of sprite animations do look a bit jerky almost. It kind of looks like he's going in and out of the Matrix, if you see what I mean. It's kind of all jaggedy and all over the place. The other thing is there's clearly a grid on the floor. Now this is obviously how the game's mapped out to the way you would normally see it, but you normally wouldn't see the grid. You can actually see the grid here that makes up the graphics, the sort of, how do you put it, the pre-rendered backgrounds essentially, or level design. You can see the outlines there. They are there, and you know, to be fair, I kind of overlooked it and phased it out after a while. It didn't really bother me, but apart from that, for pre-rendered, it works well. Because when you think about it with Resident Evil 1, for example, how that Bleems, pre-rendered backgrounds are all but missing, whereas here, they're there, and they look pretty damn sharp. Well, I'd say they look pretty damn sharp anyway. Like I said, could be a whole lot worse. This actually doesn't look too bad. Now, the cool thing is you can clearly see who your character is. The animations work. It's actually quite vibrant. And you're actually going to see that with the enemies. They're pretty much all there, although sometimes they do go invisible. Now, you will see that shortly. Now, the fact that you get invisible enemies is not going to help, and it's not by actual design fault. They weren't meant to be invisible, but they do actually become invisible sometimes. The other thing is, like you just saw there, the thing that I actually had to essentially touch to get an item did also go invisible. Now, as you can probably see, I believe it's actually meant to go invisible, or it's meant to be slightly highlighted, because it does go blue, for example, when you go over the chest right there, just essentially show that you can select it, which is cool. Now, as you can see, another enemy there as well. You know, the animations are working there and actually look pretty good. Now, if I remember rightly, the invisible enemies, as I'll put it, didn't actually pop up all that much, to be fair. Very, very playable to the point where it kind of is working for the enemy animations, etc, etc, etc. You know, I sound like I'm rambling on, but I'm just trying to really show you guys exactly how this played. Now, like I said, the elephant in the room is the fact that there's no music. Hey, yeah, there's no music, but we do, again, have some sound effects. You know, that works every now and again. Now, obviously, most people, or a lot of people, do play games with music on in the background anyway. So, really, it doesn't matter too much. But again, this is just showing what this really could have been and what, you know, it was trying to become when Bleeming. Now, this isn't by far not a perfect Bleem, but graphically, you can't deny a pretty good Bleem at that. Now the controls are pretty damn solid. I think you can use, no, you can't use the analog stick on this one. It's a D-pad only, this one, but all the buttons are mapped to what you actually need to be able to do, because I'm pretty sure this was a release that didn't need all of the shoulder buttons. Either way, you know, it's solid, D-pad works fine, and you can play the game without any issue at all. It doesn't stop you doing anything by having the other shoulder buttons missing. It works fine, and, you know, that's the way you kind of expect it to work with a Bleem anyway. It just works. Now looking at this, most people aren't going to want to go out and try this. I obviously have added a download link below if you do want to give it a go, because, you know, at the end of the day, some people want to experience it for themselves. And obviously you can go and do that. This is obviously using a CDI image. This was a burnt image. You know, it's a self-booting beta, a beta Bleem version of Diablo 1. Now obviously I wanted to show Diablo because I've got so much love for the series. And, you know, not everyone ever had a PlayStation, meaning that they were probably never actually able to play this in the first place, unless obviously they had a decent PC at that time as well. Then yeah, you could as well. Now, the other thing I will mention just before I go is the fact that sometimes you can't actually see your items in the inventory. So that does make it a little bit hard, you know, when you want to rack up your health, use a key, that sort of thing. Yeah, that doesn't help, but again, I just wanted to show you guys exactly how this did Bleem, and I've got to say, I think, apart from the fact the music's missing, this plays really, really well. Nice refresh rate here, no sort of lag, and it just works. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll leave you with some more footage of Diablo 1 Bleeming via the beta Bleem disc on the Sega Dreamcast. Al signing out.